The NBA ranks among the most popular sports leagues in the US, having some of the best athletes in the business. There have been a lot of legendary three-point shooters, slashers, and one-on-one specialists, but only a select few have become pure scorers. It takes real talent and skills to create shots from anywhere on the field and leave the opposing team defenseless. Let's take a look at some of the top pure scorers in NBA history. First up, at number 10, let's look at Stephen Curry. Curry is the best shooter to ever play the game of basketball, and he's responsible for increasing the use of three-point shots in today's league. He can take and make jump shots from everywhere on the court, thanks to his exceptional ball handling and lightning-fast release. The shooter has such strong fundamentals that he can make a three-point shot without even looking at the rim and can pull up from well beyond 30 feet easily. According to Basketball Reference, Curry once led the league in scoring with 30.1 points per game in 2015 to 2016. That season, he shot over 50% from the field, over 45% from deep, and over 90% from the free throw line. His inside scoring game is affected by his lack of a post game and a slender build, which dropped him down on this list, but he's still one of the most dangerous scorers in NBA history. Moving on to number 9, Larry Bird. When it came to scoring, Bird never led the league, but he did have one of the most well-rounded games compared to anyone on the list. Even so, it was impossible to overlook his lack of obvious attacking deficiencies. The only thing that held the Celtics icon back from being an unstoppable scoring machine was his selflessness. He finished at the rim frequently with either hand and developed a solid back-to-the-basket game. The shooter was also capable of making jump shots from mid-range and beyond the arc, right in the face of his opponent. Bird was able to make shots off screens, and after a string of passes and head fakes that bought him the split second he needed to unleash an almost unblockable shot. His athleticism and finesse weren't top-notch, but he didn't need them to complete the job. Bird is widely regarded as one of the game's most clutch players. Followed by number 8, Carmelo Anthony. Anthony might not be that good of a player, but his scoring skills stand out more than anyone else's. He was at times a solid rebounder, but wasn't a great passer or defender. Yet, he was one of the NBA's top scorers for almost a decade. From his first game, Anthony averaged over 20 points, and he finished as the league's best scorer once, with 28.7 points per game in 2013 to 14. With the physicality to dominate weaker players and the speed to blow by bigger ones, he was a 3-level scorer. Both with the Nuggets and the Knicks, he was reliable in the clutch and never shied away from taking the offensive reins. Even though he had difficulties adjusting as a support player, when he found his groove, his attacking versatility shone through. Next up, at number 7, Tracy McGrady. If McGrady didn't have one of the shortest primes on this list, he'd probably be in the top 5 right now. From 2000 to 2007, he was an unstoppable force and made it look easy for his team to score 30-plus points every game. It's a shame he never advanced past the first round of the playoffs, since his highlights are incredible. Tracy averaged a career-high 32.1 points per game in 2002 to 2003, his first and only season in which he led the league in scoring. His jump shot was pure, his athleticism was unmatched, and his height of 6 feet 8 inches made him an ideal scoring wing. McGrady's career was cut short by knee issues, but at his best, he was a top contender for the NBA's shooting guard position with Kobe Bryant. At number 6, we have Jerry West. Near the end of his career, West grew into an outstanding facilitator, but he was without a doubt the best scoring point guard in the NBA for most of his career. His 31.2 points per game in 1969 to 70 was the only season he had led the league in scoring, and he averaged 27 points throughout his career without a three-point line. The simplicity and consistency with which West scored points made him a pure scorer. He was always one of the best offensive players in the league from his second year on until he retired at age 35. For 14 years, his compact and lightning-fast release caused havoc for opposing defenders. His ability to make clutch shots in the last minute of games earned him the nickname Mr. Clutch and made him a legendary yet feared scorer in the game's history. Followed by number 5, James Harden. James Harden is by a long shot the best shooting guard in the NBA right now, and also the best isolated scoring player. No one expected that he would become become a consistent MVP candidate, and that's exactly what we've seen from him. Even though Harden's a great passer, he often chooses to score on his own rather than pass the ball around. His fancy signature step backs are always fun to watch. He gets all of his points at the rim, from the free throw line, and from the three-point range. He rarely, if ever, takes shots from mid-range, but when you can score as well as he does, it doesn't really matter. The guy can still average 40 if he wants to, and that's saying something. His strength allows him to dive in the paint for contested finishes, and his ability to handle the ball and make tough shots makes him an elite player. The beard is faster and stronger than almost every NBA defender at his position, so it's no surprise he made the list. Another one on the list is Allen Iverson at number 4. Iverson led the league in points scored and shots taken for 4 years in a row. Even though it wasn't entirely his doing, he has become the ultimate gunner on this list. The player was forced to play isolation basketball for the majority of his career. This was because his Philadelphia teams rarely had another player capable of creating their own shot. The defenders had little chance of stopping him because of his famous crossover move. Iverson would use his handles to make openings to the basket, then take advantage of those openings by making pull-up jump shots while the defenders adjusted. He averaged 26.7 points per game and is the best scorer in NBA history, pound for pound. Even with his slender 6-foot frame, he drove the lane without fear or intimidation. During his team's run to the NBA Finals in 2001, Iverson did almost all of the team scoring. How many other guys in the league can make that claim? At number 3, the one and only Kobe Bryant. When it comes to making shots in tight situations, Bryant is arguably the best ever. Because of his abilities, he scored the most points in the league in consecutive years, with a high of 35.4 points per game in 2005 to 2006. With his offensive skills, he led the Lakers to the postseason, scoring as many as 81 points in a single game. He also once ended up scoring 60 points in 3 quarters. When Kobe got into his element, no defender had a chance. From the time he was 21 until he tore his Achilles tendon at the age of 34, he worked hard to improve his skills and put up great numbers on offense. In his younger years, he excelled at sports and became the ultimate fundamentalist, one of the all-time greats in the clutch, and his mid-range game is second only to Michael Jordan's. Bryant won 5 titles thanks to his unique ability to enter a zone and completely dominate games. Moving on, at number 2, Kevin Durant. Durant is over 7 feet tall, and a player of his size has never before shot as well or moved with such grace and fluidity. He has the ability to finish at the rim thanks to his great length and technique, and he can also hit shots in his center space. He's a legendary three-point shooter, and his mid-range shots are practically automatic. As he has grown stronger, even his post game has become a strategic asset. 4 times he's led the league in scoring, but he's never been the team's only star. Even though he's played with other high caliber scorers like Russell Westbrook, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin has consistently finished near the top of the NBA in scoring. He's so talented that he'll likely keep putting up high statistics even if he loses a step, and he'll hopefully be able to get back to his pre-Achilles tendon injury self. Finally, at number 1, let's talk about Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was a basketball legend. He was the best all-around player and scored the most points. His jump shot was flawless, and he could get it off at any time thanks to his high vertical. Because of his large hands and power, he was able to dribble past defenders and make acrobatic layups even when the court was crowded. He holds the NBA record with 10 scoring titles and the all-time highest career scoring average of 30.1 points per game. Jordan's post fadeaway shot was so effective that he used it to win a second consecutive three-peat and later set a record as the oldest player to score 40 points in an NBA game, playing for the Wizards at age 40. And that's the reason he ranks number 1 on this list. That's a wrap for this video. Which one is your favorite NBA pure scorer? Let us know in the comments. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.